So one of my big predictions of this year is that there will almost certainly, I am like 80% certain of this, because I can't see how Sunak survives to the end of the year, to be honest. But I am 80% sure that this year there will be a snap general election. I can't tell you when exactly it is going to be. We've talked before about possible timelines, about what might happen. But I can't see him getting away with it, because we've talked over just very recently, indeed, just how fractured, time and time again, we've seen how fractured the entire Conservative Tory party really is over just simple issues. Like, they cannot agree with each other. And to be honest, these two leadership elections that they've had haven't had done them any favors. Because if anything, this has just increased the internal pressure in the Conservative Party. Massively so. So, how Sunak survives, how he even manages to do anything political, pass any bills, pass any legislation. We saw with the big unbanning of the offshore the onshore wind farm. Sorry, that was whole, a rebellion, and then there was a rebellion about the rebellion, which ended up with some Conservatives going, well, if they're going to get that, you've got to give us the coal mine in Cumbria, or else we're going to rebel and make sure this bill doesn't pass. And you've got to think what effect this is going to have on future bills, on future policy, and on anything that Sunak might want to pass. Because there are so many different groups at so many different loggerheads with each other. Sunak has no room to maneuver. He is a prime minister that has a majority of, 80, I believe it is. It might be less than that. It might be like 78 or something like that. I can't remember exactly the full number now. But he has that big majority. But he is governing as if he is a prime minister with a majority of 0. No, in fact, he's governing as if he is a prime minister who essentially doesn't even have not only a majority of 0, but is governing on the basis that he is in coalition with factions within his own party that at any moment could very well just spring to move to get rid of him. And the thing is, every single Tory knows that if they do that again, that if they change their leader again, they will have to go to a general election. They all know it, that they cannot get away with it. And we've also got the position of that Rishi Sunak himself just might get frustrated enough to go, well, we're going to have a general election because I'm fed up of dealing with you all. I'm going to have a general election. I'm going to try my best and try and get a mandate. So this, of course, brings us to Rishi Sunak's speech that he did yesterday. So, but before we get talking about that, of course, please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page and a one-off link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, buy me coffee. And of course, as always, thank you very much to all those people who do help and support the channel. Please do remember to ring the bell as well. And of course, down below, there are links to the Patreon page, the one-off link, Buy Me Coffee. There's the YouTube thank you button. Of course, there's a Pony Club as well. And of course, remember, if you are on the Patreon or the Pony Club, you do have the weekly Wednesday video. I've just done my first one of the year yesterday, so that is now available to you all, as well as all the other videos that we have done for you as well. You have full access to. So, this was an interesting speech. But for those of you who want the, I suppose, the short version of this was essentially Rishi Sunak trying to reassure certainly the public and maybe even to certainly his own sort of conservative voters rather than sort of conservative MPs because they're not loyal to him in any way, shape, or form, as we've just explained. Like you say, when you've got conservative MPs saying, yeah, we're going to lose the next general election, why am I going to be loyal, or at least why are they going to be loyal to Rishi Sunak? So this entire speech is essentially to try and reassure his own party base, to try and get them to go, okay, guys, don't worry, we're on it. you know, we've got all these pledges. But the thing is, when you look at these pledges, most of them, as to quote Labour, I think the Labour response really does sum it up. These pledges are so easy to accomplish, he can do it by simply doing nothing. The one for inflation, reducing the NHS waiting lists, sort of helping the economy. You look at the Office for Budget Responsibility, and certainly all the economic ones do show that regardless, we're on our way out. They've already said that Britain should, at least currently, be on target to leave a recession by, I think, the next summer. And most of these targets have no deadline either. And most of them are so vague that at any point, the Tories, or at least Sunak, could certainly come out and say, see, job done. Hey, that's, pledge 1 of 5 accomplished. How good am I? And it reeks of certainly a desperate pledge to go, if there is a snap general election this year, which again, I've said, I think very likely to happen, he can go, well, guys, here I am at a general election, 2023. I said these 5, pledges, and look, in I don't know, so many months, I've achieved this, this, and this. Aren't I a good prime minister? Please vote for me again. So to me, this is nothing but a massive, massive sleight of hand trick. And we even saw it with Rishi Sunak going, yes, pupils up to the age of 18 are now going to be forced to do maths. And I don't see the point in the purpose in this. Even there was a piece written yesterday, I think it was in the Independent, from a guy who was a mathematician who was like, I'm a mathematician. I like maths. I encourage, students who ask me, should I do maths, etc. I say, yes to them because it's got a lot of transferable skills. Certainly, if they want to go into like other sciences, if they're doing sciences, he encourages them to do sort of A-level maths because that can, it's quite transferable between the sciences. But even he says there's no real point, because even though a lot of people do take maths, and it is on paper, because there are a lot of people who again take A-level maths, the thing is, it's not actually a popular subject, even amongst the people who take it. Very often they are only taking maths to achieve a further goal. So maths itself is not even a popular subject, even amongst people who actually take it, even though, as we said, when you look at the numbers, a lot of people do take maths, but when you ask people, they're not taking it very often because they want to. Not only that, certainly at an A-level level, this means that now people who want to sort of go on and study are now going to have to do maths. And this could have a knock-on effect that you see less people take A-levels because they don't want to do maths. And this is also going to hurt the humanities, because most people, when they move into an A-level, they like to sort of group their subject into like their speciality of what they're going to maybe go on and do. So instead of making, as they say, 3 core choices, now instead they will have to be forced to take maths and 2 core choices. And I really think this will damage, to be honest, A-levels. I think it's pointless. But then you've also got the fact that the own government cannot recruit enough maths teachers to even fulfill the places that are required to fulfill this commitment to increase the teaching of maths to 18. You've got a situation even in secondary schools where people who are teaching maths are not dedicated maths teachers. So it really just goes to show you a lot of these pledges, and even in this speech that was asked, I mean, he was rightly savaged for it by a lot of the journalists who were asking him question afterwards, quite rightly ripped into him. It's Rishi Sunak's ultimate magic trick of, oh, look at these pledges, we're doing something. Most of these pledges are already going to be fulfilled. They are so easy. Rishi Sunak can basically fulfill them by doing nothing, which is ultimately what Rishi Sunak really wants to do, because he has no political room for maneuver. And certainly, I think his hope, if there is to be a snap general election, this is his hopeful lifeline, that he can hope that maybe this maybe saves him enough to maybe possibly get him to a hung parliament situation. That's certainly the direction he seems to be going. Whether he will achieve that or not, I very much doubt it. The polls are certainly not, shall we say, in the Tories' favour. But as they say, in general elections, anything can happen. And of course, we've seen polls like this before. And of course, we all know what happened to Theresa May when she went for a general election back in 2017. So, as always, like I say, let me know what you think down below. And of course, please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button on your way out. If you are new, hit the subscribe button. Welcome to the channel. And of course, ring the bell as well so you get notifications when we do a new video, when we go live. And of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page, the one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you buy me coffee. There is the other one-off donation link we've got as well, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, the Pony Club down below as well. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for all the support you do show the channel. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.